Hey YouTube, welcome to the very first video in the Hair Weaving 101 series. I'm so excited. How y'all like my hat? I know y'all like, why are you hiding that expensive ass Remy hair, Johnny? Well, because I decided that I wanted a hat because it's a hat day. And excuse me because I am parched, so I'm going to bust out my Pepsi. Y'all can see the symbol. Hopefully you ain't gonna get flagged, but hey, maybe I'll try to get a little censor bar, right? That'd be hot. Pixelate. I should edit so I can pixelate. But anyway, first off, let me say that if I am not looking directly at you, the viewer, it is not because I'm gun shy about looking at you directly. I have a ton of notes that I am trying to get out to you with some information and things that I want you to have. And so by imparting it, I have notes and all kinds of stuff going on. So if I occasionally don't look at you, the audience, I'm sorry. What are we going to talk about today in class? Well, we're going to talk about several things. We're going to talk about hair weaves versus extensions. We're going to talk about the fact that, yes, there is a difference and what those differences are. We're also going to talk about different types of hair textures and techniques, and it's all going to be broken down. So here in this first video, we're going to talk really briefly about the difference between what a hair weave and extensions are. And then everything else will come after that in other videos. So I'm going to try to keep these as short as possible, but pack in a lot of information. So some of these will be long, some of these will be short. Just want to throw that out there and put it out there. Alright, so here goes. What is the difference between a hair weave and an extension? Well, a lot, but not really. Here goes. A hair weave basically is a general term, okay, that is used to... Wow, I sound like the teacher outside part. Okay. Alright, anyway. Sorry, distraction. That basically, a general term, a hair weave is a general term that basically describes human or artificial hair that is used to alter or enhance one's natural hair. Okay? And the way the hair is added, it's added to one's natural hair, and sometimes it's just added completely and covers up the entire head with human or synthetic or artificial hair. The important thing about a hair weave is that some of the benefits to it is that it can lengthen your hair, it can thicken your hair, especially if your hair is fine. It can add volume to it. You can add fashion colors like blues and greens and tangerines. Like I told you, I had a blue that was fierce, that was whipped. It was whipped and dipped, flipped around. It was all kinds of cool stuff. And it's a great way to add this color without damaging your hair, because a lot of times people want to add fun colors, but then the problem is that you have to bleach your hair in order to get the color to really take. And that strips the cuticles, strips pigments, it does all kinds of crazy things to your hair, and sometimes the damage is irreversible, and it's just, you gotta, cut your hair really short or shave it off and start over. That's never a cute look. The way hair weaves are added in is that traditionally they're sewn in, and there's different techniques, and we'll discuss what the different techniques are later on in the hair technique portion of the series here. So that's basically, in a nutshell, what a weave is. Okay. Now, what are extensions? Well, an extension refers to basically a weave that is added strand by strand, as opposed to being added in track form. Now let me explain real quick what a track is, and we'll go over this again in another series. So if you feel like your questions aren't being answered, just relax, it's coming, I promise. Weaving hair comes on a weft or a track, which is a track basically, and I'll show you that later on in the series. And it is sewn down or glued said track, so it's one piece that's being bam, like that. See what I'm saying? Extensions, however, are added by individual strand. A prime example is that if you've seen a guy or a girl with some braids, that's extensions, because it's an individual piece. With that being said, the strands are anywhere from 50 to 80 strands that are dipped in keratin, which is a material that holds all the strands together, and it kind of looks like a shoestring basically. Now, not every hair extension is boo, come on in. I'm recording in my studio, which is my roommate's room. So there you go. That's Scotty, y'all. He made his debut. Okay, so not every extension comes in keratin form. meaning that, you know, it's a bunch of strands that are adhered together that then is added using a cold or hot fusion technique or a microlink. Sometimes the hair comes in bulk and you just pick up, you know, strands, and I'll show you that later on. But basically you pick up the strands and then it's attached to the hair with a braiding technique, whatever braiding technique your stylist or braider has. With that being said, extensions tend to be more expensive because you are using, the extensions themselves consist of about 100 to 300 individual extensions that are being applied when it's all said and done. So it's time consuming and it gets pricey. A hair weave here, I don't know about everywhere else, but here in Indianapolis, can run you between, on the lower end, $80 and run you up to a couple $100. I think maybe I've seen some that went for like $4 or so. Hair braiding or extensions, especially with fusion, and microlinks, can go from $125 and can go easily in excess of $1,000. Yeah, like that's rent, that's the car, that's something. Have I ever paid that much for hair? No, I think the most I've ever paid for hair people was $500. There you go. And that was including the hair, like when it was all said and done. Bam. So yeah, there you have it. That is basically the gist of the difference between what a hair weave and an extension is. Sometimes certain things are considered extensions because of not so much the way they are applied, but just on what they do. For example, hair pieces such as ponytails or ponytail pieces are considered extensions. Smaller clip-in pieces are considered extensions that come on like little bitty clips. You've probably seen them like at your local beauty store. How you've probably seen them at Walmart. They're little fashion colors like blue, and it's got a little clip comb, and it sticks in, and then you just kind of push it, and you get a little snap, and then you got instant color. Yeah, that's an extension. You know, it's a small piece. There you have it. So with that being said, I hope this answers all your questions about what the difference between a hair weave and extensions are. And the next thing we're going to talk about is basically we're going to talk about the different types of hair and what is good hair and what is not hair. Good hair. Wow, what is not hair? What is not good hair when it comes to purchasing your hair, and I will give you some fabulous tips on how to go about purchasing your hair. So until the next one, kids, class is dismissed, and be good to your coiffs. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.